Hello and welcome back to the GorillaBiker, and today we're talking about something that popped up on my feed this morning that made me pretty sad, and that was the fact that the GSX-R 1000 is being discontinued in the UK at least in the coming future. And the reason that makes me sad, because obviously now I live in America, so things being discontinued in the UK don't affect me as much, but, and this is an important but, if you don't see that as a sign of incoming things, then you are a silly goose. The UK for a long time has been absolutely massive in bikes. You know, you have BSB, and of course there are other countries too, from a purely sporting perspective. But if you just look at BSB, the amount that goes on a national level in that is huge, which is British Superbikes something, I don't know, or Bennett's Superbike, I don't know, doesn't really matter. BSB is their national racing series, and because of a lot of that, you know, you have a huge amount of tracks in the UK, a huge amount of racing in the UK, both, you know, national and international, of course, and it just kind of really sucks to see that being not that it's going to affect any of those things, but the fact that something as iconic as the GSX-R is being discontinued in a country that historically has been huge on sports bikes, in you know, the actual market that people will buy them from. Words are hard today for some reason, but the market that's buying those motorcycles, which is obviously the domestic market of the people who are interested in them, and one of the ways they get interested in them is the racing series. Go on. So it's just really sad for me to see that, you know, the GSX has been discontinued there, and I think a lot of people saw this type of news coming. You know, when Suzuki pulled out of MotoGP, which cost them money because they'd signed an extension with MotoGP. They were signed, I think, until 2026, and then they went and pulled out of it, which of course was a corporate accounting decision, and that worried me, that concerned me off the bat, because obviously if you've spent money on a racing series, getting ready for said racing series, developing a championship winning bike in said series, only to pull out of it, and not only just pull out of it, but pull out of it in a manner that costs you more money, obviously is oh, I just realized I never took the protective cap off of my GoPro, so you're going to be missing the GoPro from the start of this video. Sorry about that. It's off now. Anyway, oh, look at all the leaves falling. Leaves are pretty, but they're also slippy. So anyway, you know, that was a big sign for me that bad news was probably coming on the Suzuki's sports bike front. Now, I don't know about everyone else who watches this channel, but if you've been watching it long enough, you know that even despite my size, I am a huge fan of sports bikes. I love the look of them, I love how they sound, I love how they ride, and I've always aspired to one day own a new sports bike myself, and the two that historically I would have been a huge fan of was Yamaha's R1 and Suzuki's GSX-R. Why those two were jumped out of me, I don't know, but they did. Now obviously my kind of pie in the sky goal would be to own a brand new GSX-R 750 at some stage, and that's why this news, because I own a GSX-R 750, if anyone doesn't know that, I own one. It's just currently in Ireland. What are you, okay, they're probably on their phones. One of the things that I would, oh, they're doing something with their hands, there you go, I knew it. One of the things that, you know, that worries me, concerns me, is obviously the 600s sport bikes have been dying for quite a while. The fact that you can only buy an R6 now for track use it should tell you a lot. And an R6 is was a massively popular platform for just people buying them, and that's gone. And so now we have the GSX-R 1000 gone, which is the big daddy sports bike, or super bike I should call it, really, on Suzuki's lineup. So who's to say will they keep the likes of the 600 and the now I think they'll keep the 750, just because the 750 hasn't made sense from a sporting sense in a long time. They haven't been selling those bikes for sporting purposes because there's no class for them anymore. So they've kept them going purely off the back of that people love to ride them because they are a fantastic engine for the road. The 750 is a really nice balance of power and torque without being crazy top end heavy, for, you know, legal speed limits and whatnot. And I have a feeling maybe that's why they've discontinued the 1000, because the 600 and the 750 share pretty much everything except, you know, obviously the engine, whereas the 1000 has always been, you know, out in its own, has a lot of its own parts, and that's possibly why they've discontinued it, just purely from a financial sense. It didn't make sense to keep it going, because people weren't buying them, and that's the lifeblood. What, you know, it used to be, what is it that Stephen put it? It's a very good phrase: race on a Saturday, sell on a Sunday. That used to be a huge selling thing in the UK's domestic market. Yeah, that's my big concern, though, is that this is the start of a downward spiral for bikes that I mean, I obviously don't own one right now other than the 750 at home, but that doesn't mean I never want to own one. I want to buy a sports bike, preferably new at some point, and keep it forever. And that's my concern, is that this is going to be the start of a trend where we see manufacturers stop going after those really cool projects that, you know, the accountants don't really like but the engineers love, and the people who are die-hard speedy bike fanatics at heart love. Yeah, I'm worried. I am worried about the future of, and I've made videos on this before about the future of bikes and whatever else, and it has concerned me for a long time, because let's face it, if you buy a sports bike for the road, you don't plan on going slowly. You plan on using that thing at some way to the extent of its abilities, or, you know, trying them out. And as I've said before, the more and more monitored the world becomes, the harder it gets to enjoy yourself without going to jail. And that's something that, you know, possibly is also feeding into people's decisions not to buy these sports bikes, to buy the more low-endy bikes that have more torque, that are more fun to ride on the road, because you're not worrying about, you know, who's hiding behind the wall, etc., going to pop out with a speed gun and fine you a load of money. For instance, in Ireland, they only recently doubled the fine for speeding, which, you know, it's very cynical, coming after, you know, COVID and all the lockdowns, etc., that, you know, people don't have as much spare money, and you go and double fines, you know, it's going to worry people more, and they're going to stop speeding more. And anyone who throws out the, just don't speed and you won't get caught speeding, all right, you live your life by every single rule that's made and tell me it doesn't make sense, because there's a lot of rules that are very arbitrary and don't make sense. For instance, I've always said a lot of speeding rules. I am allowed to do the same speed limit on this bike from 1997 with a single disc brake on the front with a two piston caliper. I am allowed to do the same maximum speed as a brand new off the shelf Yamaha R1 that will stop on a dime and accelerate as fast as a rocket ship. That doesn't make sense to me. All right, I'm sorry, it's a hill I'll die on. You know, Nissan Micras can do the same speed as a Yamaha R1. Nissan Micras can do the same speed as a BMW S1000RR. Nissan Micras can do the same speed legally as a Kawasaki H2. That is bullshit. The performance is not the same, and generally, as a rule, and I'm stereotyping here, the capability of the pilot on one of those bikes versus the capability of the pilot of one of those cars, they are not the same. they are probably not even in the same realm of comparability, because it takes skill to ride one of those bikes. Whether you like it or not, it does. And that's another hill I'm kind of willing to die on, to be honest. So, you know, whether you agree or not, that's fine. I'm not looking for an argument. I'm just getting my point of view out there that it's kind of bullshit. But anyway, this isn't a video about speed limits. Stop sliding back, stupid camera. I need to figure that out. Yeah, so that's kind of my concern, is this is the death knell of sports bikes on the road. And while, granted, I wouldn't use one probably daily, I wouldn't use one probably for touring, depending on how my life changes, whatever else. I would still want to almost always own a sports bike wherever I live. Like right now, I can tell you I really, really miss my GSX-R. I really miss my Aprilia. And I know the Aprilia isn't technically a sports bike, but it's a sporty bike. And I miss that performance. I miss the connected feeling to the road. There are very few bikes out there that will give you the same feeling emotionally as a sports bike. And I get that it's not the thing for some people. I'm not saying that everyone should have one and this is the right solution for absolutely everyone. I'm just saying that it will be a massive pity, I think, for the motorcycle community at large, if we lose sports bikes as an option on the road. Yeah, and I mean, also let me know what you all think. Are you upset or concerned at seeing Suzuki cancel the GSX-R? Is it something that worries you, that, you know, are you someone who wanted to own a GSX-R 1000 and now it looks like that you will never own one new? And is that something that affects you? Or are you happy that, you know, there's going to be plenty of used GSX-R 1000s going forward? Now, will the prices of said used GSX-R 1000s go up? It's quite possible, because of course it's supply and demand. When people realize that they can't easily have access to the thing they always wanted, that could drive up prices as well. And also, I'd be very interested to know, so viewers of this channel, is a sports bike something that you've ever ridden? Is a sports bike something that you would ever want to ride? Do you like the look of sports bikes? Do you appreciate the engineering behind sports bikes? You know, let me know. What are your opinions on... Ooh, food. I do like food. Yeah, what are your opinions on sports bikes? Do you have any negative feelings towards sports bikes? Do you think riders who generally ride sports bikes give other bikers a bad name? And I know there's this weird segregation in the motorcycling community that I personally have never been part of. I've personally never subscribed to, because I like all bikes. That doesn't mean I'm not aware of it. You know, you have your die-hard cruiser people who don't really like other bikes. You have your die-hard sport touring people who don't really like a lot of other bike riders. But it does generally seem to be a divide between, you know, cruiser riders and sportier bike riders. Now, in modern times, you do also see that split coming in with the likes of adventure bike riders, but particularly BMW GS riders. I haven't seen any over here, actually, so far. But I know back in Ireland and stuff, it'd be a rare time a GS rider would wave back. Now they did. I'm not painting all GS riders with the same brush here. You know, Grumpy Bike Wizard being one gentleman who I'm sure would wave back enthusiastically to a fellow motorcycle rider. But yeah, I don't know. I've never understood that split. I've never understood those clicks. I mean, if I see another motorcycle full stop, I'm happy, because I'm like, ah, bike. Whoa, hold on a second. What does this bumper sticker say? Proud parent of an honor student. Oh, if you were my parent, I would hate you. I had actually completely forgotten about those stickers. Me and Toaster have seen a few of them. I'm gonna crash my bike. Why would you put that on your car? No one gives a shit about your kids. If they're an honor student. I mean, have you ever seen anything like that? Bumper stickers to tell people who don't know you about your kids' achievements. That's a new one. I'm gonna summon the spirit of Paddy Outback to comment on that one, because that's absolutely hilarious. I mean, they do like their signs for everything over here, I've found out, but my God, my kid is an honours student. I literally can't imagine things that I care less about than your kid being an honours student. I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just being honest. I literally do not care at all. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. That's a very weird one. Like, I understand stickers like, you know, retired US Army, all that stuff. I get that. You know, that's it's a respect thing, and you're part of an actual, you know, membership or a group or whatever else. I understand that. I can appreciate that. That makes sense to me. You know, and generally, you know, bumper stickers for clubs and organizations in general also makes sense to me. But a bumper sticker to tell people that your child is an honour student, weird. Anyway, let me know as well what your opinions are of those bumper stickers, and also, you know, clicks in the motorcycling community, because something happened to me the other day over here, which if I have a clip, I'll put it up here right now. Thank you. Nice, very nice bike. Oh yeah? And this is the first time this has actually ever happened in my life, is that, you know, I was stopped at a traffic light and someone came up who I didn't know and said hello, and, you know, said nice bike or whatever else, and they used to have a Honda, and that was really cool. That was really cool to experience, because like I said, hadn't ever happened before. And yeah, let me know your opinions on everything we covered in the video, in particular Suzuki announcing that about the GSXR 1000. I personally am genuinely upset about it. I think I love GSXR 1000s, and I'm upset about it. I think it sucks. But yeah, let me know. As always, thank you very much for watching. Special thank you to all of my patrons. I appreciate all of you. And you know, it just goes to show how great people they are in general. Hatter has helped me source a bike. He's test rode it for me and all that, and hopefully I'll get up to him soon. You'll see a joint video, and hopefully me with another bike. Hopefully that can happen relatively soon. And yes, until next time, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew, have you ever done something so stupid as that? Letting that thing slip down and, you know, be in the way of the tank so I couldn't turn. That was mega stupid by me. That was stupid. Stupid. I don't like doing stupid things that much, but I'm leaving it in the video because it was stupid, and maybe someone else will learn from my own stupidity. I hope so, because it was really stupid, and I don't like being that stupid, but if someone can learn from your stupidity, maybe that's not so bad. Anyway, bye outro crew.